Hey, what's up, guys? Anyhow, I got this, just picked up this 99 Eclipse GSX. This is maybe going to be like a winter daily. I was going to kind of fix up a little bit, and mob it around since it's all-wheel drive and turbo and stuff like that. But the hood, roof, and fender and bumper, and this quarter panel over here, I'm going to go ahead and paint them again, just to kind of clean it up. The bumper in the front has, scratches and cracks and all that crap. It's like they hit some tumbleweeds with it. So I'm going to go ahead and fix that, repair that with a plastic repair kit, and, repaint the hood and all that stuff. That's just the black. I was probably going to do this fender too. 7 bolt that everybody hates. I guess I'm not too sure about it either. I'm not really super familiar with DSMs. I've had like 1 or 2 before, and they were projects, and ended up selling them before I did anything with them. But yeah, bone stock. I mean, super clean. Stock turbo, stock exhaust, stock everything. I mean, everything on it's just completely stock. It looks like it's been taken care of. You look under there, you can see how clean that is, compared to like what other turbo motors look like with around 100 and, some thousand miles on them. So this one's, been well taken care of. There's a bunch of maintenance stuff that came with it. But yeah, I think this would be an awesome, winter daily, or I don't know, kind of what to do with it, but I was kind of messing with cleaning up the paint right here. Let's see, you can kind of see my swirl marks because I didn't end up, doing like the final buff with it and stuff. But yeah, the paint cleaned up, pretty good. If you look at it in this light right here, you could see right there, kind of where I cleaned it up, and then you look back here and you kind of see the stuff. But I'm painting this quarter anyhow, that's why I was kind of testing it. I just wanted to make sure that after I paint this quarter panel right here in the front end, that I'll be able to buff and and wax and stuff the rest of the car and get it to look the same. So I was just kind of testing an area right there. But yeah, probably gonna start ripping this stuff off and messing with the bumper and scuffing it and see how fast I can get it painted. So anyhow, I got the bumper and everything off of it. That was kind of a pain in the ass, a bunch of bolts and all that shit. And there's these things right here that were underneath the headlights that you got to pull off, and I just ended up ripping the son of a bitches because I couldn't figure out how to get the damn headlights out because there's like 20 bolts in each one of them. But hidden bolts too. But anyhow, got the bumper off. As you can tell right here, I've already been kind of working on it. Kind of didn't really V out the back, but I V'd out the front of it, and scuffed up the back with some 36 grit paper, just so like when I put the stuff on there, it'll have something to actually grab to. Anyhow, on the front over here, you can see where I V'd it all out. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is kind of spread it apart, stick some of the actual putty stuff in there, or the plastic bumper repair stuff in there, so it kind of has it in there, and then I'm going to put a piece of tape on it to kind of hold all the seams and everything together. And I'll probably do the back first and let that set up. After that's set up, I'm going to pull it off and do the front, and put a little bit more on the front so that it fills the gap, and then I'll sand it later. Level it all out. This is the stuff I'm using. It's a SEM bumper repair. Usually I borrow the gun from the guys, and it's actually a big squeeze gun. There's some other 3M shit that you use, panel bond, but this worked for now. I didn't want to do that. It's just 36 grit paper, some 80 grit shit, and then I was V'ing out the things with the Dremel, so that it actually has something to kind of stick to in there. And then I was on the back side of it, I was going to get a little piece of fiberglass, like a little strip of fiberglass, and lay down a strip of like a layer of the bumper repair, and then a little thin thing of fiberglass on top of it to kind of give it extra support. Anyhow, so I started working on this thing again yesterday. I went home and I went to bed. I got tired, but anyhow, I used some of this like spot putty stuff, kind of just up here, just for some rock chips and stuff that were up here. So just kind of spread that on there. It sounds really nice. So I won't have to, rely on more so the high build primer to fill them. I'll just kind of use this, knock it down real quick. It'll save me some sanding later. But yeah, pretty much same thing with the bumper. The bottom has these little like rock chips and stuff like that. So pretty much kind of fill them, and once this is dry, I'm just gonna hit it with like 220 again, maybe 180, just to knock it down real quick, and fill like all this like little chips and stuff in it. So yeah, pretty much everything's DA'd with like 180 or 320, 180, 220 or 320. But anyhow, I'm gonna go ahead and hit it with like some high build primer, just because I did sand it with the 180, and I was gonna do the front with the high build anyhow, just to fill the rock chips. And then so I figure I'll just kind of thin it down a bit and then run around the rest of it. Over here, it had like the little where they like touch-up painted it, and before I realized that it was, I could have probably actually sanded it off with like 1,000 grit, because they were pretty much just covering like a paint transfer. So it had white, and then they just painted black over it with like, like a nail polish type of thing. So if I wouldn't have, I started sanding with it with the 180, and as soon as I, sanded it, I could see it disappear, and it was just clear underneath it. So I was like, shit. So I sanded it the rest of the way with 1,000, and I pretty much got all of it to go away. But now there's like these like little bitty, curly cues, which you can't really see. Maybe, yeah, you might be able to see some curly cues. But anyhow, curly cues, yeah, that kind of like swirly looking fuzzy stuff. Those are curly cues. So if I were to buff it, which I tried buffing this section right here, it would have shown through. And when I was sanding right here with the 1,000 grit, it went down to the bare metal. So pretty much got to paint this quarter now for sure, which is, I was planning to paint it anyhow. I could have got away with not doing it, but anyhow, so that's what I'm getting ready to do. So I'm gonna go ahead and wet sand this thing with 400, and Scotch-Brite pad on the rest of it, all the crevices and stuff. So hit it with the 400, and then after that, then mask it and shoot some primer on it, let it sit for a day, and then paint. So I got the Carl masked, my like 3-hour masking job. Such a pain in the ass doing all this, but anyhow, it's all masked now. Gonna squirt a little bit of primer on it, and then that'll be it for now. And then I'll probably come paint it later tonight with the actual black and stuff after I sand it. Alright, so anyhow, I got it all primed. Filled in all the little things that I wanted to fill in pretty nicely. You could see, let's see, there you go. There's like that little shit right there, and that's the like rock chips, and then it from like cracking. I should have technically probably hit it with like 80 grit and went more so down to just the metal, and then primed it. That would have probably been a lot better, but this way will work. I'll just level it out. I'll hit it with some guide coat and knock it down so it's all level and everything, so you won't see any of those little lacquer checks anymore. So yeah, bumpers done as well. I think what I'm gonna end up doing with this guy is just kind of painting around it, and then when I'm done, I'm just gonna like clear over everything with it. So, but yeah, the quarter panel, pretty much just leave the back black, and kind of touch it with, kind of mist it with a little bit of black, and do the rest, and then hit it with some clear. So hopefully I have enough paint, which I should. I think I have half a gallon. Well, it'll be half a gallon sprayable after I reduce it, but yeah, should look pretty good once it's all done. Alright, so anyhow, back here after I let it dry, I went home and took a nap and did some other things. But anyhow, I got some had some Chinese food. They have these things at Walmart, they're like $3, and pretty damn good for shop food. And then I drink the shit out of these guys right there. But if you guys have any recommendations for shop food, let me know. So I got a microwave and a fridge, and it sucks to leave when you're in the middle of something doing stuff. But anyhow, I was getting ready to guide coat this thing, and I didn't know where my guide coat was, and so I found a can, and it's all it's all empty now, pretty much. And then so I decided I'd guide coat a little bit with my damn with my thumb. I just cut my thumb and sprinkle that around, and then try to find the low spots with that. But I was moving something and I smashed my damn thumb and started bleeding everywhere. But anyhow, yeah, I'm fresh out of guide coat, so I don't know what I'm gonna do, because you can't really see all the low spots and stuff in it when you don't have no guide coat to sand with. So I don't know. And it's like 4 something in the morning on Saturday, and I don't think DNS opens for a couple hours, and I kind of wanted to paint this thing. But yeah, and if you spray, if you spray regular like not primer, but black paint on it, it like clogs up your sandpaper all crazy, and it balls up and stuff like that. So that kind of sucks. But yeah, so that's my dilemma right now. So I might have some at my house. I might run home real quick and grab that. But if you guys ever actually want to learn how to paint a damn car, I have a whole video on painting a Honda Civic from start to finish, and then it'll give you guys some tips, or and I pretty much go over like all the processes and shit that I use. And I've gotten a little bit better since then, but for the most part, that's how you paint your own damn car. But I'll probably put a link. Let's see. I'll put a link right there. See if that worked. Anyhow, I don't know how it happened, but the guide coat ended up coming out of there, and I just barely got enough to like mist this thing down with like, not even half a coat, but it'll kind of work. Like right there is about kind of where like the minimum you want for kind of like guide coat-ish purposes, but I should be able to make it work, just by being able to see the slight color difference in there, be able to find some of the low spots and stuff, like the little paint chips and the little lacquer check looking things in there. So I should be able to sand it all out and get this son of a bitch painted. Alright, so this is kind of the final product before I yank all the masking and stuff off it. It sat for probably, 30 minutes or so while cleaning the gun and stuff like that, but turned out pretty good. Really like that new paint gun I got. You can see right here I got stupid bug, well, not bugs, I don't know what the hell that was. It looks like a floater, whatever the hell it is, but you get that shit when you paint in an open shop like this, but for the most part it turned out pretty good. Clear laid out, pretty flat it looks like, with the exception of that little run right there, but yeah, turned out pretty good. There's some dirt and stuff in it that I'm gonna have to run around with it with the, sand it and nib all the little things out, like that, and then buff it. And I gotta buff the rest of the car anyhow, because all these ones are gonna look brand new, and then the rest of the car's gonna look like it's old and shit. So yeah, bumper turned out good. I just went ahead and painted that emblem black, which I think looks pretty cool. But yeah, that's about it. You can see right here, maybe like a little wave from the repair, but it's on the bottom and I'm not too worried about it. But yeah, so I'm gonna unwrap this thing here in a bit. Oh, and this is the paint gun that I got. It's a Iwata LS400, which is an awesome gun. When I first got it, it had just there's two tips. There's a base tip, which is this one, and then a clear tip. And I only had the clear tip, and I painted with it once, and I tiger striped the shit out of a car with the other clear tip. But this one atomizes really nice and even and stuff. But yeah, so it's like a $800 and some paint gun. You know, and I ended up picking it up at the dang pawn shop for like I think it was like $200 or something like that, and then that tip was like another $80. So I'm like, you know, $280 into an $800 paint gun with both the tips. But yeah. So anyhow, I got all this stuff, you know, painted now. Got the masking and stuff off, and you know, looks pretty good. Laid out pretty nice. But yeah, I need to wash the rest of the car. As you can tell right here, it looks all nice and pretty over there, and it's all dirty right here. So I'm gonna buff, you know, the doors and all that stuff. Yeah, just to kind of make it match a little bit better, and then get some of the dirt and stuff out of it. But yeah, looks pretty good. Happy with how it laid out, other than the, you know, little dirt things in it and stuff. But all right, so now I'm messing with polishing the headlights. I got this one all done, and this is kind of what it started out as. You know, this one over here is actually a little bit worse, but turned out pretty good. Just buffed it with the compound and stuff like that. I might actually end up clear coating it. You know, there's a couple pits and stuff in it, but for the most part, it looks a lot better than it did. So I'm gonna finish buffing this one, and then I'm gonna go ahead and go around the car and kind of take some of the dirt out, nib some of the dirt out of the paint. So I've been slaving away for like the past 2 hours on this thing, sanding it. I buffed this fender already, but I didn't final sand it with the 3000 Trizac pad or whatever, which is this little thing right there. It's like 3000 grit, so it's super fine. Anyhow, so I buffed the fender and it turned out pretty good. Got, you know, a lot of the little dirt specks and stuff out of it, and got the hood real flat. You know, there's gonna be a couple little, you know, low spots like right there. Like you'll be able to see like few little ones right there, but I didn't want to take too much clear off. I put 3 good coats on it, but you know, I'd still like there to be a decent amount. Tried to stay away from the edge over here, but you know, got close on a couple spots. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and buff it. I hit it with 15, 2, and then the 3000 grit, and then now I'm gonna polish it with this shit right here, that compound, and then like a final, you know, swirl mark thing. So see how it turns out. Alright, so this is kind of almost halfway through the first stage on the hood, at least. I haven't got the fender up at the top of it. But this is just compound right now, just compounding it with the black compounding pad, or the foam compounding black pad or whatever. But I got you guys a little time lapse right there on the iPhone. So that's you guys right there. So anyhow, yeah, taking a long time, but should turn out pretty nice. Looks pretty good so far. There's, you know, a few swirls and stuff like that for now, but once I hit it with the Senkit, you know, the anti-swirl or whatever compound, it'll get all the little fine swirlies out of it. But yeah, it's buffing good. So this is pretty much where it's gonna sit for tonight. Got the hood and everything, all hood and fenders and all that stuff buffed, and holy shit, that took forever, but turned out pretty good. You know, there's still, well, that's compound right there, but looks pretty good. Pretty happy with it. Took a long ass time. Now the front end looks cherry, and the rest of the car needs a little bit of attention. I need to nib a couple things out of the bumper and polish parts of it, and then probably this door and, you know, the rest of the damn car to make it look pretty. So, but yeah, it turned out real good. Bumper's just kind of sitting on there. Doesn't edges aren't bolted on. I was gonna put in the fender wells and all that stuff. I got it on the lift and was looking under it, just kind of seeing how everything looked under there, but it's kind of weird it having a diff in it. Has a LSD too, but. So anyhow, this is kind of the almost finished product. I actually need to go around it and finish final buffing it with like the glaze stuff. I did the front end with it, and I'm gonna wax it as well with this like turtle wax black stuff. But so everything you could see, like right, you know, there's like some holograms and, you know, slight little scratch marks and stuff in it that'll go away as soon as I buff it with the other compound, you know, pretty much the final stage compound of it. But yeah, so far it looks good. I just threw my drift car wheels on here just so it, you know, because those other ones kind of sucked. So I really like this style of wheel on it. So if I end up actually keeping it as a daily, I'll probably try to order some more that aren't as wide. These are 18, 10 and a half plus 20 the offset, and it needs like 18, you know, by 9 plus like 30 or 35 or something like that to make them sit decent in there, not all crazy. But yeah, so that's about it. I'm gonna smash this video up, go to bed, and then I should be at Sema or in Las Vegas tomorrow for the Sema show. So this is gonna be a fairly up-to-date video. But yeah, we got Alejandro's charger running as well. All it turned out to be, that loud sound, was loose flywheel bolts or flex plate bolts. So tighten those up, put some Loctite and stuff on them, and it's good to go. So.